Mulligans and Hackers Golf, podcast episode 64.
Mickelson National Prep.
Yeah, we're just, this is going to drop the day before we play our Alberta Golf Tour event at Mickelson National in Calgary.
Our season finale on the Alberta Golf Tour, our third event at Mickelson National in Calgary, which I'm over the moon excited to go and play.
It's pretty cool because this golf course is going private after this year. So I don't know if Alberta Golf Tour will be. Sounds like they're hoping to get back there again next year, but you never know. So when we saw this one on the schedule, this was definitely one of the ones that we definitely wanted to try and make happen.
So we were going to do Desert Bloom at the beginning of the year, regardless, because it was in our home city. So
yeah,
and we had so much fun at that one. We slipped in Strathmore.
Yes,
because it was closer. It would have been a day trip. So because we wanted to play another one. We wanted to play more than what we did, actually. But
we slipped in Strathmore, Mother Nature had its...
Strathmore got washed out. Just another experience. But this one was originally our second event scheduled for the tour. So, and as Chris said, because we wanted to play Mickelson National, even with the private thing next year, and however that plays out, the man himself, Phil, had a hand in designing this golf course. So we want to go play it. And
everybody I've talked to that's played there or had any experiences there just say it's awesome.
It's an awesome course.
It's awesome. Lots of sand from what I heard.
And
so
I just want to go experience the Alberta Golf Tour thing again, do the tent and I want to go take in some of Mickelson National. So we'll get into what's going on, but give a shout out again to
Golf
Logic Green Books.
Yeah.
Me and Chris both have one for Mickelson National in Calgary. This is huge. Great information in these things. It's like a pro yardage book guide. And again, shout out to Golf Logics.
Yeah, can't wait to see. Can't wait to put it through its paces on Tuesday, right?
I am a range book guy. I think it's for golf courses to have a yardage book that people can take. And I don't care if you give them away or if you sell them, but if we go and visit golf courses that we've never been to, one of the things I would love, and I have a few, but I love as a memorabilia piece is the yardage book.
Well, right? When we were playing Cottonwood, they had them, right? Yeah. So you were able to make your own kind of.
I actually made my own yardage book out of their yardage book, and had all my yardages on there that I played from for 3 years.
Yeah, so you know exactly where to put it, right?
And again, after a season, I didn't really need it because I knew where I was playing from anyways.
Could you imagine if we had one for the hat?
Yeah.
It'd just be,
it's
just a different...
So here's my take on
different layout.
Here's my take on that. Like places like Connaught, Medicine Hat, Desert Bloom, which I'm totally blown away that they don't have a yardage book. But if somebody comes from out of town, go play, and whether you give away the yardage book or you charge $20 for the yardage book, it's a piece of memorabilia that the person's taken away, and it's the course in a book. I like yardage books, and I would love to have a collection of yardage books from courses that I play.
I think there's only two in the city that do it. Red Cliff still does it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if Cottonwood's doing it this year, but they did it last year.
But I have Red Cliffs and Cottonwoods, but I think it's a lost leader for golf courses if they don't have a yardage book that a guest can come, and maybe it's not for people that play the course all the time, but it's just that piece of memorabilia a guest can take away if they're from out of town.
And plus the advertisements that are in there, right? Like if you're somebody's in town for a few days or whatever, there's a good opportunity to advertise for different things too. So
I'm just a yardage book guy, and
they definitely have their place.
And they have their place, right?
For sure.
And again, with all the apps and everything that's out there, that's kind of taken precedence now. But I'm definitely a visual guy.
Yeah.
When I like to look at the yardage book, this is where my ball is, and this is what I got to do. Right, this is where I have to that downward look at what you're doing. That just plays for me a little.
I like the yardages like on the Canada Golf app. It tells you how far to go, but that's about all I ever look at on my watch. So if I have a book and I can just flip it open and be like, okay, I got this much to here, I got blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, okay, so I know where I need to be.
But if you've on this, the Golf Logic's green books, they have the slopes of the fairway, slopes of the green, heat maps for the greens. All that is important information.
Incredibly.
Right? And if you've never played a golf course before, and you have a blind tee shot, let's say somebody's coming into Desert Bloom, and that
par five,
right? It's a blind tee shot, and then your second shot is everything slopes to the left, and it's a hard slope. So like you've hit the fairway out there. Sometimes your second shot's a blind shot. Your first tee shot, I guess, is uphill.
Yeah.
If you can hit the hill, you'll have a look. But if you can't get it up over the hill, your second shot's a blind shot.
Yeah, and even if you
Absolute
hit a
blind
great
shot.
drive, because like I hit a great drive the one day and I hit it over the hill,
Yeah.
and I was yards from going into the shit on the left.
Exactly,
And I hit
yeah.
it perfect straight in the center.
And a book like a yardage book like that tells you like over the hill everything goes off to the left. Well, now you put it in your head. You know, put it out there to the right. Put it over to the right side of the hill.
Yeah,
That's information that I like to have, and you know
100%.
that's where yardage books for me comes in. It's if you've never played a course before, and I've always struggled playing courses for the first time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's always something that I've struggled with, and having this book to go and look at now and tell me out in the fairway towards the green where everything is sloping, I think is going to be a big advantage for me.
I think so too. I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, I've kind of glanced through like the green book and then glanced through like the overview on the Canada Golf app of the course. And I mean, from the tee boxes that we're playing from, because I think we're playing deck 4, right?
Deck 4, yeah.
The tee boxes that we're playing from, usually when I play a golf course for the first time, it's funny because I typically like I'll play relatively well because I don't try to do too much because you don't know what's there.
Right.
So you're just like, well, I'm not going to hit this what I would maybe normally be aggressive here because I don't know what's there and I want to be safe. And for my game, if I stay safe, it usually ends up me playing better. So it's kind of a catch-22 that way.
So we're heading up to Calgary on the day that this pod drops Monday.
Yep.
So we're leaving that day. We're going to hit Strathmore on the way up. Get our complimentary round in there from our original Strathmore event.
Yep.
So we're going to play 18 at Strathmore. Jake's coming down to play with us, right?
Yeah, Jake and his buddy are going to meet us in Strathmore, and they're going to play.
Go play around with Jake.
It's been a while,
and we'll get that round in on Monday. Then we're going to head into Calgary, get our hotel room. Now, Tuesday for the event, we were supposed to schedule to go off at 1:00 before when this event was
originally scheduled.
Tomorrow, Tuesday at the event, it's going to be a 9 a.m. shotgun start. So it changes the dynamic of how we prep for the round. For us coming up from out of town, for sure. And this is something I was going to go over with you, and we're going to chat about it here right away. So we're going to be at the hotel. We have to be at the golf course. And I mean, we need to get a warm-up session in, right? So it's like, we're going to have to get up at like 6 o'clock, get food, get to the course, get our warm-up. And because I still want to have a look around. Like, I still want to like explore the
well, and I like to be an hour early.
Right.
And I mean, we have to be heading out to our holes at 8:45.
Yeah.
So that means that we're minimum there at 7:30 probably.
Right? Yeah. Like, yeah, no later than 7:30.
Yeah.
And if it would be nice to be there before 7:30. So we have to get up, get food, and get to the course like right away.
Yeah.
Unless we get up, pack up, go to the course and eat at the course, right?
Well, and the registration opens at 7:15. Like the registration tent or the check-in tent, sorry, opens at 7:15 a.m. So I mean, they'll have that open, and then it's a walk to you have to walk over to the launch pad driving range. And that's part of the warm up. I think that's complimentary or whatever.
I don't think it is.
It's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, hang on now. I got an email on that.
I thought I seen that it was, but maybe not.
Yeah, no,
but anyways,
right.
in the email, it basically says, it's kind of like Heritage Point. Like I played Heritage Point last year, and they're owned by the same group, I think. So the same thing, like at Heritage Point, your driving range is at the launch pad, which is kind of like it's a digital driving range kind of thing where you can play games and there's targets and whatever out there. So you have to, and it's on the complete opposite side of where the fucking tee box is. So you have to go all the way over there, warm up, and then come all the way back. So it's going to be a busy place around there. So I mean,
it is. It's going to be crazy because everybody's going out at the same time.
Yeah, and it's full. It's a full field. So I think it's like 70 some odd people attending and going out. Like that's going to be wild.
You need to be back at the clubhouse, ready to hit your hole at 8:45.
Yes.
So
and tee off promptly at 9 with no horn. and then there's multiple groups on every hole for a shotgun start. And we know in the past, like shotgun starts can be tough just because you can't really get into a rhythm off the hop. You kind of gotta until everybody kind of spaces out. It's hard to find a rhythm, right?
Which doesn't play favorably into my game at all.
No, and
I'm definitely a pace of play, um, field golfer. When I have to start and stop, it really affects me as a golfer as it is.
well, and I think Leah was saying that the pace of play is going to be huge here because they have a member shotgun at like 1 o'clock or something.
Like on the day, like on Tuesday.
Something like that.
Wow.
So like it's like 1 o'clock or 1:30 or something. It's like right behind us.
Wow.
So we're gonna be like I think in her email about pace of play, she kind of said like don't rush your shots, but I mean she likes her pace of play, and I mean we like to get things done in a prompt manner. So no messing around, right? Play ready golf or go through your routines and be ready to go. Which that's what we do anyways.
You bet.
But I mean,
again, it's that if you're in a cart with a guy, because I'm riding,
yeah,
one guy hits his ball to the left side of the fairway, the other guy hits his ball to the right. I mean, and you're going to be at different yardages. It's going to be an interesting day.
Yeah,
and I think the mental focus for me will be key. And I'm hoping I could bring back some of that Desert Bloom mental focus that I had.
God, man, I have never seen you like that. If you could find that game, oh boy.
Speaking of that, we played yesterday.
Yes.
And I shot a 90, but I actually played better on the back nine than I did on the front. I was actually quite.
There's a lot of good things.
There was a lot of good things
from your round yesterday.
Other than still scoring a 90. The back nine was really a confidence booster for me yesterday. So that's good going into tomorrow and Tuesday at Mickelson.
Yeah,
I'm in a good headspace. And again, I want to go and experience Mickelson as well. So I think that'll alleviate a little bit of my
stress.
Hurry up and let's get through.
Yeah,
because I really want to experience all the holes.
Well, I think it's funny because I just came from an hour and a half range session and I was working on some stuff where I get rushed in my swing, and I mean it's not necessarily in your swing, but what I notice for you is when you are immersed in your game and you're playing your best, there is not a single rush in the world for you. Everything is just in its time, in its proper amount of time. You take your time on every shot. You do your routine. It's not like you're taking an excessive amount of time, but you're in your normal routine. Routine. When you putt well, I could tell you like there's a 30-second difference between when you putt well and when you don't putt well. and it's you guys. If you guys have never seen Alvin putt, it is if he's rushing his putts, he's not going to putt well that day. If he slows down, he's finding his putter. He's putting well this year. So I mean, it's just kind of interesting because like you brought up Desert Bloom when we played there, and your level of focus. Well, there was no rush because you just stay behind the people and you just play your game, and you played unbelievable. Yep. You played so good that day. So I don't know. It might sit right into your game. I mean, I'm driving. I'm walking this event, so this will be my first time walking on the Alberta Golf Tour.
Yeah, continue.
I wanted to walk and experience it and just see how it is because I mean I really do enjoy walking and I don't find a difference in my game whether I walk or ride. And sometimes actually I like to walking because I can just be alone with myself and just kind of if you make a bad shot you're just kind of like okay, what do I got to do to get this back here? Blah blah blah. You make a good shot, you're like okay, we just gotta we're one shot away, or we just gotta think about and stick to what we're doing. I actually, since we started walking at the beginning of this year, I enjoy walking way more than karting.
I enjoy walking as well, but I do know it affects my game.
100%, yeah.
Because again, I'm carrying around a lot more weight than you, and I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
And I'm not in that great of shape. But as my game has been affected by fatigue out on the golf course, and I think yesterday when we played, the positive that I really took out of it was I had 4 pars on the back nine. I have 1 triple bogey. That hole kind of got away from me. Bad tee shot. But I walked away from that hole, and the overall back nine was, again, really good for me and a positive. And I didn't get fatigued finishing 18. I was in the entire 18, so I was really happy with that. And that was a good motivator for me
That
going into this event, right?
that was one of the best, one of the better 18 holes I've seen you play in weeks.
Yes, and the score again, it was a 90.
Well, it wasn't so much the score, but it was
exactly,
just
but it was just yeah. I played that 18 holes better than I have in a little while. Now, something else for our event on Tuesday at the Alberta Golf Tours, we're in different flights
we are in different flights for the first time ever.
for the first time.
So, with you being struggling, and my game has been the polar opposite of yours, really. I kind of hit my stride for the summer, playing really well, coming back. Like I played Trickle Creek and I played 10 over, and then we came back and we did the jug, and we all struggled a little bit at Connaught, but then I played and I shot a 10 over at Medicine Hat, and then we went out for Thursday round, and I think it was a typical Thursday after work round. I think I shot like 16 over or something. I just like on the back, I hit like almost every green, and I was three putting like crazy, and I'm like, well, that's just a non-focus kind of thing.
Exactly.
So then yesterday we went out and we played, and I mean, I quietly went around. I went around the front at 5 over, and then I started 10 with a double, and then I had another double somewhere. And then I tripled an easy par 3 just because I had a lazy ass swing off the tee and it put me kind of behind a tree and a couple of rush shots. So I was basically I had a good chance to break 80, but I'm close. I'm close. I should be able to break 80 within the next couple of weeks at our home course as long as I continue to play well. But anyways, I finished with a 83. I went triple on the par 3, and then on the par 5, I go and I get a nice birdie. So I was like, well, that kind of erases that. So it's good. But yeah, so my handicap after that round is down to an 11.4, which is the lowest it's been since last year when it was at a 10.7. So I'm projecting to where I want to be. My goal at the beginning of the year was to try and get into single digits. And for those of you that don't know, getting into single digit handicap, even from like a 12 or a 13 or a 14, it's fucking hard. It's hard, man. Like you have to be consistently consistent. Like you have a couple bad rounds in the 90s and boom, there goes your handicap back up, right? And that's what you've been struggling with. Like
again, I was 14.1 for a while, for most of the year.
Yep.
But when I struggled, I stopped putting scorecards. But then as we were getting closer here to Mickelson, I did a scorecard dump into the Canadian golf app, and I went from 14.1 to 15.5.
Oofta.
Right? So when Leah emailed me and said, Alvin, you're on the cusp here of being in C and D, I'm like, well, yes, I want to be in C to compete with you, yes, but that's not where my game is right now.
No, and that's exactly what I said too.
I decided, I was like, no, you know what, I'm going to go play in the D flight. Not that, and to me, it's not a downgrade. It's where my game is right now.
Yes, it's where it's where your game dictates you should be at the moment.
And I didn't think it would be wise for me, again, for a confidence standpoint or anything, to go play in C, play up a flight, and whether shit to bed or not, that could have been more damaging to me than playing in the D flight and not doing well, right?
100%. And then the D flight, you're going gross or gross score, right?
Gross score,
yeah. So gross. So we like in the C flight and above, you just play straight up strokes. And because I think it's 10 to 13 handicap in the C flight, or 13-ish. And so then the D flight, you guys play your gross score. So like you're a 15 point whatever you are. So if you shoot 15 over, well, you should be like negative half a stroke or something, right? Like or something along those lines. So if you shoot your handicap, you should have a really good opportunity to win the D flight.
Well, again, just to place at least, right? Like I know there's people in the D flight probably that have higher handicaps than that, and I'm going to be playing against that type of score, right?
Right, but you just got to go look after you and do you, right?
I'm just going to go play my 18 holes, minimize any damage or trouble that I get myself into, and I'm looking forward to see how I get around that course. It's in my mind of where I am in shape, out of shape, or just I really want to go play it, and I can't stress that enough. That I just want to, and it does kind of suck that I'm starting on hole 12 and I can't get that experience of coming off one and doing the 18 that way.
Yeah, well, I'm starting at 11, so I mean, it's not like
No, no,
it does kind of suck
but
that way.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean.
I know
Like,
what you're saying.
get up and play 18 holes as it's meant to be played
I
off
yeah
1 through 18.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean,
And
maybe we'll get
and
to
I
play
know
there again.
there's those rumors of it going private next year and stuff, and I would love to get a chance to go back and play that course 1 to 18, just to play that course, right? So
For sure, for
so,
sure.
if anybody out there can get us on next year,
Let us know.
hook us up because we still want to play it 1 to 18.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So in your flight, there's 19 golfers, including yourself, and in my flight, there's also 19 golfers, including myself. So we're competing with 18 other golfers in each of our flights for.
I think it's good for both of us to go out, and now you don't have to worry about competing with me. I don't have to worry about competing with you.
Yeah.
You're in the C flight. I'm in the D flight. Now we go out and play our games, and
Just see how it translates, right?
When it's over, let's see where we are, right? And
well, it'll be interesting because I mean, in the C flight, like, they say you only shoot your handicap, like, I don't know, not very often, they say. But I see these Alberta Golf Tour events, and the C flight guys are always shooting like 80, 81, 82. Like it's 8 to 10 over almost every time.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of like, okay, so I mean, you're gonna have to put down a good round if you want to compete, right?
for sure, but this is the thing. We're playing from deck 4, and truly, we don't have no idea where deck 4 is, right? But you and I are playing from deck 4, and
I think it's shorter than
for-
what we normally
for
play.
for you, a guy like you might not need driver at all.
Yeah, well, looking at the deck 4 card, it does not look like I'm going
And
to
I
need
mean,
driver.
if you're into a spot where you're starting to go around and saying, "Well, fuck, I'm just hitting 6 iron off these tees." If you hit 6 iron off most of the par 4 and par 5 tees, you're going to lay down a really good score because that 6 iron, 210 off the tee box, and you're looking at a wedge in. If you're going to play 18 holes like that, you're going to score well. You're going to score like they score, like in those low 80s.
Well, my wedge play and my putting just needs to be on, and I should be okay. But I mean, it'll just be interesting because it's I've just been curious as to what it's been, and I mean, in my group, I think everyone's walking in my group. I think I have to double check, but I believe they are, and like I'm with some seasoned Alberta golf pros in there. I got one guy who's played 11 rounds. He's 4th overall in the standings in the order of merit. And there's another guy who's got a couple wins, and then one other guy who's got a win or two. And it's it's gonna be it'll be a different kind of pressure.
And you know what? It's really interesting that you and I aren't in the same groups. Like and we have to get used to this as well because it's not always going to be tailored to our
it's kind of cool though,
our whims and wishes, right? So. You're going to be in a group behind me. I'm going to be in the group ahead of you. It's like really the first time in a tournament play we've ever not played in the same group.
Yeah, I mean we've done it a couple times in Mulligans and Hackers, but I mean we're still with buddies.
We're still at the same course.
Yeah, and we're still with our buddies, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you at least you got Blair in your flight, so you can go sandbag with him in the D flight.
And I'm looking forward to playing another round with Blair for sure.
It'll be
again, for me, it's somebody because we actually rode in the cart at the Bloom, and it was really entertaining. I enjoyed the guy, and he's a pretty good dude. And I'm looking forward to having him in the group again because it just will be a little bit more of that comfortable feeling. It's like I do know Blair.
Yeah, you've already played around with him, right? So it's
good. For me, that's just we'll just go play, right?
And it
gives me somebody truly to measure my game against as we're playing again. Same thing. I have a measuring stick now because Blair is it. We're both in the same kind of game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a different experience, and it'll be fun. When I messaged Leah when she had sent out the first email, I was like, well, Alvin and I we're traveling together. It'd be nice if we were in the same group. If we're in the same flight, because she did say because of the shotgun. Yeah. That if you're not in the same flight, you're probably not playing with that person. And I was like, that's totally fine.
But really, I don't think the fact that we're not playing in the same group
it doesn't affect it.
It's not going to matter much because we're all going to when we finish, we're all going to be finishing waiting for the results anyway.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like we'll be waiting to leave town or anything. Like
no,
because we got some stuff to do. I really want to go. I want to go through the pro shop because again we have Alberta Golf Bucks to spend, and I'm going to spend my Alberta Golf Bucks at Mickelson National.
Yeah.
I'm at least coming home with a shirt, if not something else. So
Well, and I mean and then there's a KP contest at
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
after the 18 holes.
that's something I'm looking forward to as well. It's just never done one of those.
It'll be pretty cool. Like it sounds like it could get pretty rowdy depending on when you're out there. Like heckling's welcome. Like I think you're off the first tee into the practice screen or something like that. I
Okay.
believe is kind of what I read. So it's neat. It's a
Just
cool
another
thing.
little thing that another little interesting thing in this whole format, right?
Yeah, and I mean it's all included in your entry fee and stuff, so it's pretty cool. It'll be an interesting experience. Could you imagine somebody getting a hole in one in that?
That'd be wild.
Man, it'd be rowdier than the freaking waste
And
management, probably.
I think Mickelson National, from what I read as well, has put up some prizes, some golf bags and stuff for this event as well.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool as well. And I mean, I'm looking forward to doing more of this next year.
Oh, dude,
More
I mean,
events.
this is only our third event this year, but I mean, next year, I think, I mean, we're gonna have to look at the schedule when it comes out. But I mean, I would love to go to just about every event, as many events as I can
Yeah,
attend,
for
right?
sure. I mean, but and
I mean, there's weekends where I'll be on call, so I'm like, well, I can't go to that one, but definitely want to try and get a major
we
or two
have to
in
get a
next
major
year.
in. Have to get a major in.
And I really want to go to the club championship next year, or the tour championship next
4-day
year.
one.
The 4-day.
Yeah, that'll be a big week.
I mean, that'll be because it looks like it's always the last weekend in August, which means that we're gonna have to decide between the Halo tournament and the tour championship.
Yeah,
So unfortunately, we may just have to give up the Halo tournament to do that
if we want to do it. Yeah.
if we want to do that. Like this year, they're going to Kimberly area, and they're doing like St. Eugene, Bootleg Gap. Like I was just in that area playing Trickle Creek, and I drove by all those courses. They're phenomenal. Like I would love to go back and play there, man. It's only that's 5 hours away. Like it'd be awesome.
But again, it's you take and that's the thing. You take a week off, you make it a vacation. And,
yeah, for sure.
And go and play golf. Like
yep. And just get the full experience, man.
The whole no, and that's part of it. Like we talk about it on almost all of our podcasts about experiences, and I want these experiences. I want to do it right, and finances finances willing. We're going to get a bunch of this shit in, and I could see me doing this for a while.
Oh man, I mean, I'm so glad that we, put ourselves out there this year and gave it a try.
Because we had been talking about this since we actually started Mulligans and Hackers.
Yeah.
Even in that first year.
Yeah.
I remember at Cottonwood and was on hole number 3 when I first brought it up. And I was like, have you seen that Alberta Golf Tour thing? That looks pretty cool. I remember the conversation we had. It's like, yeah, well, maybe down the road. And down the road, you bet. Because it was like, this looks cool. This looks cool.
Yeah, we just weren't comfortable enough at the point, right? Because I mean, we had to get comfortable with our games. Like, I mean, as you're getting into golf, it's like, and you suck. You're like, well, I don't really think I belong there.
Golf is an intimidating sport, but
yeah,
I appreciate the fact that they have a D flag.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
which helps with that type of maybe not so comfortable with your game, but I've been playing golf now for 4 years. This is my 4th year playing golf, and I actually this last month has been probably one of the worst months I've played golf.
Yeah,
right. It's
been a struggle,
but that's because I've never walked as much as I'm walking this year, and again, that all has an effect. And next year next year I'll be able to build onto it. I think, and
so
just have my game in a different area next year.
Yeah, so I mean, Mickelson should be a blast. I mean, we're gonna get in we're gonna play Strathmore, and get in our complimentary round, which is awesome.
Yeah, should we actually play?
Should we play it from the tee boxes we were supposed to play it from? See what our scores would be. Just see what we could lay down.
We'll do the hybrid
Okay, well, we'll see what we could lay down. Sure. I like it. it.
I think we should. And here's something food for thought for down the road here. I think we should play a hybrid round at Medicine Hat as well.
A hybrid round.
Yeah, because there's blue yellow hybrid tees, right? Like if you look on the scorecard.
Oh. Blue yellow hybrids.
Right.
White yellow.
Sorry, because
we
normally play from the whites, right?
Yeah.
So there's a white yellow hybrid.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
Which will tell you if you play from the yellow tee box or the white tee box.
Okay, so let's see this. See? So you go yellow,
Okay, we should talk about
Yo.
this after the podcast.
That's cool. Actually,
again,
I like that idea.
That type of hybrid, that's where my handicap would be right now.
Yeah.
And you would be probably a little outside of that, but you still could play in that.
Yeah, but it'd give us a little bit of a different look on some of the holes, right? Which would be interesting.
It would shorten the course up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because I mean, realistically, what are the whites there? Like we're playing like 6,400 or something.
So from the whites is 6,359.
Yeah, so just about 6,400, right? And I think most of the events, like for the C and the D flight on the Alberta Golf Tour, right around 6,000.
Yep.
So we're just about 400 yards longer than what our handicaps really say we should be.
Yes.
So I mean that's not a bad idea. Yeah, so we're excited for Mickelson. But before we call this pod a quit, or before we cut this pod, the following weekend, before our next podcast is going to come out, we also have the club championship for Medicine Hat coming up.
Our first ever club championship.
Yes.
And I think next Monday, after our Mickelson prep here, the next Monday probably should be us again doing our Mickelson review and the club championship review.
Yeah. I mean, we'd have to get it out Sunday, or do it Sunday, and it's gonna be a tight turnaround. But yes, for sure.
Right.
So I mean, we previously belonged to a golf course that didn't have a club championship. Nothing wrong with that. But this year, Medicine Hat has one. We've decided to throw our hat in there. It's all handicap based.
You bet.
See what happens, right? I mean, it's going to be a different experience playing against everybody out there.
And here's the thing that I'm thinking about. If you're playing off your handicaps, what tee boxes are we going to be playing on?
Right? I was thinking about that today. Right? I don't know.
Am I going to play off the white yellow tee boxes because of my handicap? Right.
I don't know, but I bet you 15 is going to be a yellow tee box in the hybrid.
Right.
Because it's going to be shorter.
So we don't know. We've never played in a club championship. So this is again another first for us this year, which is again I'm looking forward to. And then the weekend after that, 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, the weekend after that we're gonna do another event. We're gonna get one more event in, and then we'll have the weekend after that we're gonna do.
Are we doing the match play of that weekend?
No.
Okay.
We decided we're gonna do the match play on September long.
Okay. Perfect.
As long as everybody's around.
Right.
Because I think, the 17th, 18th weekend, 17th, 18th weekend or whatever it is, we got to get one more single day event in, to kind of make it worthwhile. Then we'll have our tour championship after the Halo on the Friday, tour championship Saturday, Sunday, and I have it on good authority that there might be some good deals happening at the clubhouse that day.
Oh, really?
Or that weekend.
What kind of good deals?
Like a tent sale, maybe.
Oh, I see.
So then we have that, and then if we September long, I think we were talking about doing the match play.
Right.
1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 for one day, and then have for the purple sombrero and go double points. The tour championship will be worth triple, and then after the match play, then you get the cup.
The cup.
And the purple sombrero will be handed out.
For the cup.
And most wins and all that other stuff, right? Like, I mean, so on tour championship day, we're just handing out the jacket.
Yeah, and
for the first time.
For the first time, because it has been a season wrap prior to that for
right.
the last 3 years.
So that should be exciting. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the club championship just to kind of see, just to see where we stack up against some of the guys that go around out there.
And again, just another tournament style of experience that we get ourselves into, and I'm all about that. I want those type of experience. I want to go do this stuff.
Well, the more we play in that kind of stuff, the less stressful it becomes. The less, I'd be lying if, as an athlete, any athlete would be lying if they said when they get up on the tee box or they get into whatever, there's not a little bit of a butterfly in their stomach. Because if you don't have that, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's exciting. Like I look back to the first time I stood on the tee box in the Alberta Golf Tour event at Desert Bloom, and I'm like, butterflies in my stomach, and I'm like, oh God, I better hit a good shot here. Like, this would be embarrassing. But it's just like, but it's just kind of one of those things. So you absolutely slow everything down.
Yeah.
And you just try and hit a good ball.
Just a different environment. And again, here we are into our 4th year of golf, because this is our 4th year of golf, and we're playing on an amateur tour. We're playing club championships, and this is in my mind, in hindsight, this is exactly where I wanted us to be, kind of in this frame, in this time, like in the fourth year, doing stuff like this.
Yeah, man, and it's so much fun. Like
Uh,
it's just everything that comes up and every opportunity we get is just more fun.
it's just
And
another opportunity. Is exactly what it is, right? Just another experience and another opportunity to go and play golf, in a different style. Just outside of us going out and playing, practice round. There's always something we're looking forward to.
well, and watching our games develop and grow in different ways, right? It's just kind of, I think we were playing with a couple guys yesterday, and I know he said a couple times on a couple holes, he's like, you guys like played that hole exactly the same, and it's like different clubs, but we played it literally exactly the
He
same.
says you literally went from tee box to this spot and from this spot to that spot. He says you've done that on like 3 or 4 holes. It's like, yeah, well, that's how we play the hole. Like you might hit a 9 iron, I might hit a hybrid, but
Yeah.
but we go to the same spots because that's where you play it.
Yeah, we know how to play the hole enough, right? Because we've played it, so it's just kind of funny. Because we always talk about, our games are very similar in a lot of ways, but very different in how we get to
We
those
get around
points.
the course differently. We
Yeah.
may play the course kind of similar,
Yep.
but we get around the course differently. I'm using different clubs because I don't hit the ball as long as you.
Yeah, but I mean, you swing your swing, and
Yeah.
and I swing mine, right? Like, I mean, there's that book called "Unfuck Your Golf Swing," and it's literally telling people instead of trying to model your swing after everyone else, just swing your swing.
Just swing your swing.
And I mean, for me, that really resonates because I mean, with my cross-handed golf swing, it's like I was on the range the other day, and a guy's standing there on chipping on the backside, and I was the only guy on the range hitting balls. And all I hear after I hit a driver is he's like, "How are you doing that?" And I'm like hitting it cross-handed. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't know. I've always done it. I don't have an explanation for this." And then I hit another ball, and he's like, "I don't understand how you're hitting the ball." I'm like, I don't know, man. And he's like, is that you up and down the bag? I'm like, "Yep, that's me up and down the bag. That's me, the cross-handed golfer." And
Well, I
it's
mean, again, I've seen you hit your 6 iron 210, 250, right? So, like, I've personally witnessed it on a golf course, and it's like, how the fuck does he hit that so far? Like,
I don't know. The guy is like, you must have really flexible shoulders, and I'm like, I guess. I mean, I don't get a sore back anymore. Not since I actually tore my Achilles. Like I always go back to that moment, but it was probably one of the biggest things that changed and helped improve my game in a quick step.
very short period of time.
Like
When you started playing with that boot on, it was very, very quick,
yeah.
right? Very, very short period of time that you had that boot on. But you played a lot of golf in that short period of time, and that straightened out a lot of your. And again, I've said it dozens of times. Before the boot, it was a full body seizure swing.
Yeah, man.
Because you were trying to get yourself through the ball cross-handed, and it looked terrible. But when you had the boot and you had to slow everything down, that's when your game started to come around.
Yeah.
To where it is now, where like, yeah, people will see it and go, yeah, how the fuck do you do that? Well, it's just it's your swing. It's swing your swing, and that's your swing, right?
Yeah, just own your swing, right? And I mean, like, even the guys yesterday were talking about like your swing. They're like, just you with your driver, and they're like, it's effortless. I'm like, I know, it gets so sickening to watch him off of every tee box, just ding, just a beautiful drive out there, 240, 250, just lay it out there.
Just put it in the fairway.
I'm like, oh my god! I was like, that's why he's on my scramble team, because he's
I'll
great.
put it
He's
in the
great that
fairway,
way.
and everybody else could just mash.
Yeah,
And we'll always have one in the fairway.
yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, but yeah, no, I mean, we're excited for Mickelson. When you guys listen to this, we'll be playing Strathmore probably,
playing
and
Strathmore,
then
and then-
getting prepped to play Mickelson,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's gonna be an exciting experience. I can't wait to come back and talk to you guys and let you know how we did.
Yep.
Hopefully, one of us or both of us might have a medal around their neck. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if
That'd be
that'll happen, but I mean, it's a possibility.
Oh,
You
I mean,
never
we're
know.
going there to place. So
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going up there just to throw in the towel and throw up a
No,
number.
we'll go up to try and play our best, but
if I'm not going up there to at least try and win, I'm not going, right? So
100%. But I mean, it'd be pretty cool to get like a Alberta Golf Tour win, right? I mean, you came pretty close at Desert Bloom.
yeah, I have a second place finish
Yeah,
in
and
the sea flight.
yeah, and
So-
I mean, I got a third, so I mean, it's we're not too far away, and it's now the flights are a little bit bigger and it's
Yep.
a little bit more prestigious course.
And
I
the
mean,
points will be a little different because I am still ahead of you in points on the Alberta Golf
yes,
Tour.
yes. I
I'm
mean,
still inside the top 100. So the last time I checked, I was in 99,
yeah, and I was at like 103.
103. So I'm still
So
inside
so
the top
that
100.
could change this weekend.
It could.
Or on Tuesday potentially. Like depending on how you do within your flight and how I do within my flight, there could be a flip flop there.
Or I could just
Or you
more,
could just increase your lead.
increase my lead, and at least first season we played on the Alberta Golf Tour, I'll have points lead over you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when the dust settles here on Tuesday. But
All right.
yeah, so keep your eyes open. I mean, follow Alberta Golf Tour on social media, on Instagram. Follow Muggins and Hackers on Instagram, YouTube,
Follow Golf
Facebook.
Lodge's Green Books as well.
Yeah.
It was really sweet of them to send us out a couple of those books, and they're definitely going to get put through the paces on Tuesday.
For sure. And Leah always goes live during events because she's always carting around, checking in on everybody. And I mean, you want to check in and see how how we're doing, or what's happening.
In case there's a playoff.
Yeah, there might be a playoff. There's been a playoff in almost every Alberta Golf Tour event this year.
Yeah, so they're fun.
Wouldn't that be wild? Playoff at Mickelson National?
Yeah, no doubt, eh? But again, with the tournament starting right after us, they'll have to fucking.
Well, it's a member shotgun afterwards.
Okay.
So I mean, they would just have to.
They'll have to smash through like playoff holes, but.
That's her problem. She gets to worry about those logistics. We're not running the shit.
Right
so.
on. That's awesome.
All right, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week and
next
let
Monday.
you know how we're doing.
You bet. Take
Later.
care.